Hello, everybody. I don't keep information in my head. My brain is to think and not to record. Atal Innovation Mission, with their flagship program of Atal Tinkering Laboratories, foster thinking and curiosity in young minds all throughout this nation. Today, we have the representative and a thought leader from that very same organization with us to throw light on few things that are revolving in our minds, like remote tinkering, incubating, getting help in various formats. I welcome Dr. Unnat Pandit, Program Director at Innovation Mission, to this session today. I am Dhanya Bharati, CEO of Sri Venkateshwara Group of Schools, Ambattur, Chennai, and I welcome you, sir. A very happy afternoon to everybody present on the platform here today. And I humbly welcome Dr. Unnat Pandit ji to our webinar. Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar.
I hope you're staying safe in Delhi and getting us a headstrong start with the Tinkering Laboratories and Atal Innovation Mission for the greater good of public. So I would like you to throw light upon various things that are happening in Atal Tinkering Laboratories, in incubation centers, and what kind of initiatives are being taken by Atal Innovation Mission to foster crisis management in India at this moment in history. I would say that this will be a historical thing that is happening everywhere, and it is heartening to see how India is taking this crisis and turning its head over. And the institution has been at the forefront of dealing with the crisis. So I would really request you to throw us some pointers on how children can tinker from home initially to begin with.
So thank you very much, Dania ji, and appreciate the way the Venkateshwara group of schools are taking the initiative to spread the message of creativity and innovation among the students and the community people to foster the creativity and innovation in the school going kids. This is the most important and essential time frame wherein entire world is witnessing. We may not have witnessed such a uh, communicable disease outbreak wherein entire world is almost um on the spot where they have been facing the major challenge by a small, even few micron size of a virus. This is something which is a challenge to the mankind as well. And uh, somewhere we can really contribute in direct or indirect manner, wherein of course, this is a time to encourage and enrich our knowledge, but keeping in view the societal need as well, the community which is in need of the solution to their grassroots issues. So, students and innovators can really make an impactful stride by designing the new solutions, innovative solutions through which they can address the challenge. Now, under COVID 19, everybody is at home. So, I first of all pray for their safe and secure livelihood. And when they have got the time frame to improve on their skills and the knowledge, they have to utilize the knowledge which they have gained. They have gained through Atal Tinkering Lab, they have gained through the technology exposure, they have gained the exposure in the form of working on the futuristic technology platform. This is a great time which I don't think anybody will forget in their entire life. And how you are utilizing this time for yourself is definitely going to help you in the future course of action activities with which you are getting involved. See, I would like to quote here Dr. Kalam, who said that you should dream in order to achieve the dream, and the dream comes true for you. So, what kind of a dream you are taking it forward for yourself, for your community, for your society, and for your country? How you are utilizing this time frame? Atal Innovation Mission is taking a various initiative, right from giving them an exposure on a coding or on artificial intelligence or on any such tinkering technologies. We keep on organizing various events in online form, various modules which are available on Atal Innovation Mission website. Students should utilize this time going through this. Friends, thinking is the capital which you are building, and enterprise is the way, and your hard work is going to be the solution. So nurture your journey or prepare yourself for the startup journey which you have to follow in order to serve the country. And this is the time where Atal Tinkering Lab, Atal Incubation Center, Atal Community Innovation Center is helping you in developing your skills, nurturing you towards the future challenges, and providing you the opportunity and platform through which you can serve the country. And this is the time frame which you should be utilizing for yourself and sharpening your skills.
Thank you, sir. There's just one question which is very popular amongst all schools, students, and even other stakeholders like parents and curriculum developers. How do we foster remote tinkering in times of COVID? Because everybody is at home and you do not have access to laboratories, actual thinking laboratories in school. So, how do children foster tinkering at home?
See, almost 70% of the country is facing the summer, and birds are getting worse affected because of the they don't get adequate feed and the water. So, how we can tinker around our skill and design a solution? So one such solution who has shared the experience would like to quote it here. Student of class 8, he also has the same challenge which you are uh, posing here. That student has taken up a 2 liter of a cold drink bottle, and exactly of the cap which is there, he has utilized his cover of the tiffin box. He has taken up this hole, and exactly in a clockwise manner the tiffin box he has put it in place of the cap, so that entire bottle can quickly be fixed. And he has given a two square holes on the cover of the tiffin box. Now he has filled this with the 2 liter of a water and rotate it exactly in the opposite direction. So water has floated from that and up to certain level in the tiffin box. And because of the water is locking it, it will preserve the water, the remaining water into the bottle. And in order to avoid vacuum getting created, he has given a pinhole on the top of it. It's a very simple assembly. A very fundamental science is working, but application he has generated in such a way that it can be placed anywhere nearby your society, your apartments, your locality, and at various locations you can create the device which can dispense the water for the birds. A very small initiative, small thoughts, but it brings the sensitivity, it utilizes the knowledge, it utilizes the students' creative skills, designing skills, and design ultimately leading to the deployment of the innovation. So, this one single example with multiple plugins in the form of knowledge enhancement and utilization of their skill with the household things which is available with them, and designing the solution. Not only it is important, deploying this solution for the practical usage. So like this, students need to have the exposure of surrounding challenges which they are facing, not just the challenges, how they can address with the resources available with them and design the appropriate solution which can really deployed, and while deploying whatsoever the challenges which they are facing, they should come forward and address it. And for parents and the professional peoples, it's encouraging for them also to channelize the creative skills of the students who are trying to make this attempt. And you should be mentoring them. You should help them designing the appropriate solution, designing their skill and their curiosity to address the challenges, and encourage them if they are failing in this attempt to address the challenge. Failure and success are merely a two side of one coin. Anything can happen. Rather than from success, I personally believe that there is a more lesson to learn from the failure. And failure management is unfortunately not a part of a school education. So this is the time where even if you are failed in your scientific experimentation, you will have a learning to adapt it, identify the root cause for the failure, and you have a time to correct this root cause and be the successful aspiring innovator who is ready with the innovative solutions, products which can really make a difference and create an impact for the society.
Rightfully said so, sir. Build your foundation at home. That is something that all kids, irrespective of the location that they live in, irrespective of the economic background they are from, can practice at home. The example of having a tiffin box and a water bottle leading to multi-utility invention is something that all of us should practice at home, even as adults. And also about crisis management and failure management. That is real life, and a school should prepare children for life.
Yeah,
And I think that is the mission of AIM, and it was so rightfully said, and at almost the perfect time, especially on the context of innovation right here, because pressure and pressure is treasure. You will have to treasure the pressure and create the demand to invent new things, especially immediately addressing to the challenges in the world. And all of us are put on the accelerated mode where you will have to find the solution immediately. So this will be a good real life exercise for kids.
yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. It's important time for all adult tinkering lab as well, because ATLs need to organize the sessions like you are doing. And ultimate goal for all of us, Atal Innovation Mission, and with all the associate agencies or institutions who are linked with the Atal Innovation Mission, it's our time to create the creator, our time to support the aspiring innovator, our time to build the foundation for the future startups, and our time to nurture the students and youth of the country towards serving the nation with the highest spirit and with utmost creative skills as well. See, one quote which is there from Dr. Kalam is one best book is equal to 100 good friend. One good friend is equal to a library. An entire library is there if you are going to apply the knowledge which you have gained through the Atal Tinkering Lab and design one such problem, solution to the problem which you have identified in your surrounding. Your one such device or solution or innovation is going to be like a universe is going to bless you, fulfill your dreams will come true if you are building your foundation with the knowledge which you have gained. So that is something which is important for all of us who are actively engaged in the ecosystem building initiative, and it's our role for them to be the successful one, and their knowledge should translate into the action and adversity into the prosperity.
Wonderfully said, sir. I can also see that there is a beautiful portrait of Vivekananda behind you. And I think the verse of arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached is being told through that portrait for all of us. Now is the time to arise. Having said that, so what are the initiatives that we have come up with Atal Innovation Mission as part of Thinker from Home? Because all of us are talking so much about artificial intelligence, automation, technology, IoT, and so much so. Uh, I think we can do a lot of work with respect to design, uh, making, and creation using technology at this time, because in mainstream schooling you never find time to do this kind of learning with regular academics
Mhm.
coming into the forefront. So, what initiatives or what would you rather put as a forward to help us learn with technology at this time?
So, see, it is almost impossible that in a very short span, students grasp the technology and design the innovative solution and try to pilot the solution. So it's too much to expect at this point in time, but these are the platforms with which we want to make them aware. We want them to be exposed with this kind of a platform. So when these platforms or product and services associated with such platform, when this is going to take a place in the future competition, then this generation is well prepared and have a basic understanding about all this technology platform. Secondly, the fear factor in adopting this technology will went off, and it's our duty to ensure that we give them the adequate exposure. They are not going to demand all this, or they don't have a far sighted vision to explore themselves with this kind of a platform. But we, who are a key catalyzing elements into the innovation ecosystem, have to play our role wisely and have to give them this exposure. Schools also should encourage that how from the basic pen, paper, or scissor, how they can ensure that their creative skills are at a best and they achieve something on a peak. They should design certain problems and let student prepare a model using the resources available with them at home. And this is the kind of a learning which will help them encouraging their creative skills. Almost, uh, I should say that forming a caption line is now, it's a matter of just a creative artist who are there. Why can't we run a competition for fighting against the corona and tell students to draft the poem, slogans, and popularize the slogan and poems on a social media? Everybody has a mobile phone. Everybody has the pencil, pen, notebook to write and explore. And best slogan can be given a prize. And through digital mode, you can award them a check worth of whatsoever may be the prize award which you are. But these all activities will help them. A slogan in 25 words, how much this can make or crafted in a way that it conveys the message. It should not be just in English or Hindi, it should also be there in the regional languages. And apart from the specific state specific regional language, we should also allow them to draft such quotes in various other Indian languages as well. So by that, they are not going to use their own language, but they will also explore various other languages. And they will also learn how to use the Google input tool for translating the content which we are drafting in our own mother tongue. So this is one of the way through which they can enhance their creative skills. They can enhance their adaptability in various languages. And same slogan can be written in 5 different languages. And the most appealing quotes can also be awarded. So why can't we utilize the time which we have got it during this lockdown phase? This is the time to improve on the skills. This is the time to improve on our creativity. This is the time for giving the maximum task to our brain towards thinking in a positive sense, thinking in a right manner, thinking towards addressing the root cause challenges.
Sir, time is the greatest gift that can anybody give anybody. And you've appropriately said that you will have to utilize the time that you have in your hand and sprinkle a dose of curiosity.
Exactly.
Then all will fall in place. So how do adults, it can be parents, it can be teachers, and it can be even mentors of adult tinkering laboratories, how do we specifically encourage and create that path for children to bloom and innovate. With I understand that we will have to give a lot of problem statements to them every single day, but how as mentors from remote places collaborate and have this spirit going forward.
See, it's an important role for each one to play in this COVID-19 challenge. Whereas when Dr. Kalam has said, it's in a Hindi very famous quote, सीखने से रचनात्मकता आती है. If you are learning, your creative skills will get boosted. And if your creative skills get boosted, then it will ignite your thought process. If your thought process is getting ignited, you will gain the knowledge. And if you have gained the knowledge, it will not only help you, but it will also bring the glory to the society, to the state, to the country. So this is something which is the most essential thing. And in entire world, three people can bring the reform, or entire world, I can say that the three people who can really bring the change in the thought process and make the entire universe getting benefited out of the curiosity or igniting the knowledge in the students and youth. The three people are mother, father, and teacher. If anybody is not feeling that they are happy with doing this, these three people have the power to ignite the curiosity, ensure that the students are moving in the right path, right direction, and they really work on their basics. Even if they fail, the three people surrounding to any kid can really help them fulfilling their dreams. And once they see that dreams can be achieved, their competency towards the higher level challenge will get boosted, and they will never going to be in the downfall. Their progress is like entropy, which is a scientific phenomenon which is always going to increase, and their hunger for knowledge and technology adoption will always give them motivated towards doing the best for the society.
Yes, sir. The analogy of power and love grows as you give more.
Hmm.
Power or love will never, it can never be, empty. The more you give, the more it grows upon you. And the three best people who can hold the entire power in the world are the three that you named. I would call them the quintessential three of anybody's life.
Yes.
And they are the only people who can give you selfless love, and that is exactly why we need them pushing and driving and encouraging children by leading them in a sense to look around them and inspire children to look things differently every single day. Having said that also, uh, there are queries about patenting. There are queries about funding, because in our school we have come up with projects during COVID-19 on withdrawing money from ATMs without touching the machine. So it's mobile based. And there's one more project that we are seriously looking at where the robot is able to self sterilize itself, at least the parts that is most prone to contact.
Hmm.
And we are also thinking about creating a platform to connect the public in the local, in the neighborhood, and the police and healthcare officials. If at all there is a containment zone, so our children are actively looking at solving that particular issue in our neighborhood. So when all this is happening, what kind of support can children from all over India get immediately to solve? Say they have an idea, they have a model that is successful. How do we present it, or how do we get people to handhold us through the process and look for quick delivery uh, in terms of product?
So for COVID-19 related challenges, Atal Innovation Mission along with the DBT, DST and Startup India have floated a challenge. So those who have some innovative prototype, which is ready to demonstrate kind of a prototype, they can submit their application on the Startup India portal, and they have to mention that the kind of support which they require. It's a funding support, it's a again building the final prototype or MVP, minimum viable product they want to design around, or they want to have the user trial. If they want any support from any other source as well, they can mention over there. We will try to map and align with the need of the incubation center or any funding agency who would like to fund them, and appropriately try to help them realizing their idea into the commercially successful solution. And friends, I would like to definitely give one special message to the students and the parents as well. So if your child or your student is getting success for the first time, then don't allow him to take on a rest. Give them another challenge and let him or her develop the habit of addressing all those challenges. The first victory, people will think that that's something which is came out of their luck, but repeated success will establish him or her as the most creative people who has developed that far-sighted vision. Developing this far-sighted vision is important towards building or giving shape to their career, and how we can utilize this time towards building such career or offering them opportunity to work on their basics. This is something which they will lifelong remember in the tough time if we are going to handhold them. And our duty is to handhold in the way which we can offer them.
The entire point of innovation is that it should be not relevant in shorter span of time. That is how you will have to repeatedly think about new ways of doing it better. Give a man a fish, he's fed for a day. Teach him how to fish, he's fed for life. I think that beautifully summarizes what you try to tell parents, that to consistently support them and throw challenges at them so that they're never, idle. And even there are certain cases where children are hugely successful one time, and they're so vast in that glory, we never, try to innovate the second time around. So, shaping the personality along with that ethical way of thinking is also quite important when it comes to tinkering. And that also interests me on how all of us as a tinkering community can help schools, especially schools, cope with the exit strategies of COVID-19. There is going to be a day where all of us are going to come back to school. And I also hear there are many challenges when children are coming back to school. People say that you may have to have let children in batches. You cannot have the entire student strength coming into school, and you will have issues of sanitization. You will have issues of learning. They say you can go online and offline alternatively, so that one day is online learning, one day is offline learning. Most of the parents are working. We do not know how online learning is going to be successful post COVID. The effect withers down. So how ATL laboratories all around India can contribute to making the exit strategies easier on schools and upon themselves.
So this is something which we all have to ensure that we properly, appropriately follow the social distancing norms and the other safety, security related norms which has been mandated by the government of India. And ATLs can really play a catalyzing role by designing the challenges which the community is facing and allow, allowing them to really design a solution around it. Now, as far as the formal education when it is going to commence, see, schools and the parents need to work on hand in hand. They need to ensure that the proper safety, social distancing protocols which has been drafted jointly by the parents and the school management and the teachers are being followed. And this is the time to work on the strategy of managing the things. Everything cannot be completely going on online mode, or everything or anything which we are exploring on the real time basis through any medium which includes the online also cannot serve the purpose. So it's a time for redefining our strategy. Instead of a teaching how we can explore the learning approach, project approach, giving the experiments to the students, allowing him to perform these experiments, record these experiments on his by them own, and recording the observation. If they fail, rather than giving them a punishment, we should appreciate the failure and give them a next assignment why you have failed, what is the root cause of your failure, and how you can correct your mistake. This is something which will ignite the learning approach in your kids. And this approach getting developed now will help them realizing the key aspect of the education which is getting imparted in the various institutions. And parents need to understand the way entire shift is going to take place. The cultural habits will get developed, and these habits, to follow these habits, every institution will require to frame these systems and processes, and they should work hand in hand. That's why parents, teachers, and then school management. So the role of parents and teachers is on a forefront, and management has to facilitate this decisions, these policies, this standard operating procedures which has to be followed post COVID in order to ensure that each and every child who is coming to the school is safe, secure when he or she is in school and without any infection. So these are the basic aspect which even post COVID, everybody is going to face for the short while. But how much we are prepared, this is the time for such brainstorming as well. And give the challenge to the parents so that they can come out with the innovative solution, innovative processes, innovative SOPs, which can be implemented with due consensus among the parents and the teachers.
The metacognitive element of everyone. I think here, as a system, as an institution, may it be school, may it be college, or any institution that is adversely affected by corona now, has to learn a life skill. We keep talking about life skills for children. I think now it's the time for schools to learn their own life skills on how to manage this, because this is a never before seen situation that is happening. We have no clue as to when this is going to come to a grinding halt, or is the world going to be the same again in the future. We have no answers to that, but positively looking at it, there's something that we can do, and there's something that is under our control. Is when that final day comes, where children are back in schools, because I think that would be the last thing to happen. You will have the enterprises coming to life first. You will have everything else happen before you are absolutely certain that children are safe. And until then, you wouldn't, or we wouldn't think about having schools run. So when that day comes, I'm sure every single school is absolutely prepared to handle that crisis with the learning that we are receiving from Atal Innovation Mission in terms of children mentoring us in this way. And final words on a recent development that I am particularly keen to get some kind of insight from you. There are two things. Number one is, could you elucidate more upon the Atal Community Innovation Centers? Because there was this big question about innovation reaching villages and tier 2 and 3 cities. We know that children in villages are naturally, instinctive towards innovation. You see them pick two stones and two sticks, and they make something out of it. That is something that's something that comes to us to them naturally. They do it. The environment that they are in, they do not have a lot of resources. The resources are very minimal. That drives them, pushes them, on the contrary, to innovation. So I think KCICs are doing, promoting and developing, centers of innovation in rural areas. Could you elucidate more on that, and how we can contribute as other schools that are already having Atal Tinkering laboratories? How do we, take part in ACICs?
So you have rightly said that tier 2, tier 3 city students and the rural students are the most creative one, and they are really having a far-sighted vision towards applied knowledge. Some unknown person has forwarded me WhatsApp message, but I salute to that unknown person who has created the solution. Again, I could not resist myself from sharing this new novel design and see the far-sighted vision and the designing of the solution. See, again, they have students or youth might have utilized the water bottles. So in one side of water bottle, there is a soap solution. In another side of water bottle, they have filled the water, and they have linked this. They have hanged from the 3/4 dimension of a bottle, so that it is always in the this direction, and they have hang on the nearby cap they have kept a thread which is linked to the bottom side, a wooden piece. So anybody who is passing through this and would like to wash their hand before entering, then nobody need any kind of a tap or anything. So person has to just press his left leg to get the soap solution from that bottle. Bottle will come in this way, will give a few drops of soap solution. Once the person relieves the uh, that wooden piece, it will again achieve the same level of height. Same, once they have washed, utilize the soap, they need to clean the hand, then they need an water. On a right leg, same wooden piece will again dispense the water. So very simple thing, very simple solution from again a domestically available apparatus they have used and accessories they have used, but beautifully designed the solution and enforce the compliance which has been mandated all across the country. With simple available resources, they have utilized it, they have designed the solution, and I really salute that kind of a creative, which is creative skills which is there in the rural tier 1, tier 2, 3 cities, youth and the students. Atal Community Innovation Center is established for such youth and students because the tier 2, tier 3 cities and the rural sector doesn't have adequate infrastructure where the students and youth can realize their idea taking shape into the proof of concept, prototypes, minimum viable product. So entire pre-incubation support, they can get it through the Atal Community Innovation Center. And ACICs are getting established all across the country. In first phase, we have selected around 24 institutions representing 16 states, which has a representation from Jammu and Kashmir, which has a representation from Arunachal Pradesh or Tripura, and among the 24, Tamil Nadu is the state where they have got three ACICs, which is getting established in their states. One of them is nearby Kanyakumari, another one is in Sivakashi, and the third one is also, I, uh, name doesn't strike to me immediately. But the three ACICs getting established in India at Tamil Nadu, and which is the big take home that your students are going to have the ACICs in your state, and you should adopt all the tinkering labs should have their linkages established with this ACICs so that they can gain the maximum out of this infrastructure building creativity boosting initiative which has been taken up by Atal Innovation Mission.
Thank you very much, sir. We've been, on the, pursuing way of knowing about what Atal Innovation Mission is doing, but primarily on how children can develop the spirit of curiosity at home and how parents can contribute to this. This is a much needed wake up call for all of us, young minds and older in general. And there is just one question that everybody asked me in the webinar also, in the panel discussion also, is that when will we expect the next round of Atal Tinkering Laboratories getting chosen? And
So, frankly, it is going to take some time because whatever the existing areas, it's our time for review them and whatever the mid course correction which is required to be done, we should be addressing all such challenges. It's not that ATL fund is given, then the responsibility of supporting is over. Each and every endpoint and objective how schools can achieve, and real time outcome can be achieved from the ATLs. So it's a high time for that. Most probably, the new ATL will be call will be announced at a later stage current year, wherein we will have the publicity on social media and Facebook, Twitter. We will announce. So one has to keep a close watch on the Atal Innovation Mission Twitter handle, Facebook page. I am also keeping posting all such updates on my Twitter handle or my Facebook and the Instagram as well. I'm quite active, so they can also get the update from that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Just one final question about funding opportunities. So, where do children look for funds? This is for Atal Incubation Center and Incubatees. Yesterday, there was a young entrepreneur who is currently giving solutions in forms of robot to hospitals in healthcare, and he had a question about acceleration because he informed us that the robot he made initially was for education. Now it is being utilized for hospitals, and he does have inquiries even from global nations on using the same robot in hospitality, in government offices as means of the exit strategy of COVID-19. They want those robots to be there, helping public deal with physical distancing. So, what would you like to tell incubatees who are looking at acceleration opportunities?
So for all those COVID-19 related suitable solutions, their funding and their other support, beside the non-funding support as well, they have to just fill up their application form on the Invest India portal, wherein they have to categorically mention the kind of a support, the kind of a infrastructure need, kind of a any other support beside the funding as well, and funding support as well. If they want, we are taking or identifying the right solutions. Like one of the IIT Kanpur alumni student who has designed a device which can detect the quality of N95 mask, and by exploring this device, anybody or any manufacturer who is manufacturing N95 mask, they can get the quality standardization verified for that particular batch, and they can also have a consistency in producing the industry output related to the product which they are exploring on N95 or KN95 mask. So this is something, and immediately that person has approached to IIT Kanpur, for which he was alumni, and he has got the access from the expert professor in the form of their mentorship. Immediately he has filed the application on the Invest India DST platform, and DST has funded rupees 50 lakh in less than a month or 15 days. So nothing can be done such expedited, and he has something on his own hand to realize the true potential or power of innovation. The solution should be the most promising one, addressing the local challenge. If our solution is fitting into that criteria, no matter whatsoever it may be the funding, you will get the funds, you will get the opportunity to deploy them and commercially explore this study of such innovations.
Thank you very much, sir. that draws us to the end of the session. We do have to think about an inception of a seed or an idea that grows into this plant of creativity, nurtured by the people who love you, and also the curiosity in itself, accelerated by the challenges that you come across. So, with that thought, I would like to bring this webinar to a close. And I wholeheartedly thank Dr. Unnat ji for his participation, because you've enlightened the minds of so many young children now, and all of us are looking forward and to be this, proud innovator in front of you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hope the things went well. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.